money taken from?
Well, there is no actual cost. There's just, you
Oh,
would have
oh, okay.
staff not working
Yeah.
that day. You'll save some money on lights.
There you go.
And coffee.
They don't buy the coffee.
We buy our own.
Dang.
So the employees are all salaried?
No, they're not. There's split. But if you're a full-time employee, you would
Work your 40
work the
hours.
4 hours.
So you would have, but if you didn't work 40, if you worked 36 that week, would you be paid 40? If you're hourly?
Well, that'd be a village board decision.
No.
You want to not pay your staff.
But in a normal circumstance, if you have an employee that works 36 hours and not 40, would you pay them 40 hours if they're hourly?
You'd pay them 36.
Okay. So there is a cost impact.
If you want to play around with numbers,
Oh,
sure,
I'm
go
not
ahead.
playing around with numbers. I'm dealing with a direct situation where you have our employee. Personally, I'm okay with it, but there is a cost impact. If you have an employee that doesn't show up and they only work 36 instead of 40 hours, and you don't normally pay them the 4, I don't understand how you can say that there's no cost impact.
Because if we had the office open, they would be here working those 4 hours. Okay.
I motion to authorize the closure of the Village Hall on Friday, December 26th, and credit all full-time employees with 4 additional hours of holiday pay.
And I'll second that.
All right, so we've got a motion on the floor from Santa Claus, and it's been seconded by Chris Kringle to authorize the closure of Village Hall on Friday, December 26th, and credit all full-time employees with 4 additional hours of holiday pay. Did I get that correct? Except it was trustee Eckert who introduced it and trustee Romas who seconded. All right, do we need a roll call on this, or can we just vote on this straight up? There's an expenditure involved, that's why I ask.
Let's just call roll call.
Okay, I've had a request to call roll call.
Trustee McKeefery.
Aye.
Trustee Romas.
Aye.
Trustee Stevens.
Aye.
Trustee Andrews.
Aye.
Trustee Eckert.
Aye.
Trustee Neto. President Van Rossum.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously, 7-0.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
Fire Department items. Item 10A is a resolution 25015, accepting the donation of a rescue trailer from the Suamico Volunteer Fire Association. Chief Bertler.
Thank you. So we recently acquired some donations from the fishing club, an ice water kind of boat, and then we also received some confined space equipment, realizing that equipment would not fit on our trucks. So I had asked the Fire Association if they'd be willing to donate a trailer. It's a 6x10 trailer, and they were so gracious and did so. So they want to donate that back to the village, so we do village property. So I'm looking for a motion to approve resolution 25015, accepting the donation of a trailer from the Suamico Volunteer Fire Association. So I was gonna bring it here tonight, but I wasn't sure how long this meeting was gonna last, so.
Could you just describe what type of trailer this is?
Yeah, so it's a 6x10 aluminum trailer. We got it from Bay Trailer Depot. I think they're in Howard or whatever it is. So they kind of gave us a break as well. So then we're also getting a donation from, who's the electrical contractor? CESM. Electrical contractors are going to donate some electrical work inside, so there's lights and power if we need it. And then a graphic company is going to donate the graphics for the outside as well, so.
Great, thank you.
Yep. So just looking for a motion to approve the resolution accepting those donations.
Any other questions?
I'll make a motion to, if there's no other discussion, I'll make a motion to approve resolution 25015, a resolution accepting the donation of a rescue, well, the money for the rescue trailer from the Suamico Volunteer Fire Association. That dollar amount was $5,765.69.
Thank you. Trustee Andrews has offered a motion accepting the donation of the rescue trailer with the dollar amount of $5,765.69, and that has been seconded by trustee Romas. What was it, McKeefery? Sorry.
That's okay.
I heard it from over there. I wasn't
Absolutely.
looking over there. All right, thank you.
I'm just quiet tonight.
All right, Maura, you have a deeper voice than I thought, but either way. Could we have a roll call, please?
Trustee Gomez.
Aye.
Trustee Stevens.
Aye.
Trustee Andrews.
Aye.
Trustee Eckert.
Aye.
Trustee Neto. Aye. Trustee McKeefery. Aye. President Van Rossum.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously, 7-0. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, item 10B this evening is Rescue 1211 replacement discussion. Chief Bertler, if you
All right, thank you again. So the fire department's rescue truck, we have 3 big trucks, 2 engines, this is a big truck as well, is due for replacement in 2029. The current lead time on a replacement for a rescue truck is about 4.5 years out. So we're kind of already behind the 8 ball, but, so after careful consideration, we as a truck committee, we've had a truck committee formed for the tenders, as you may recall, and the engine that we'll be getting probably next month or so. It's been the same committee that's been together over the last few years. Realizing that we don't use that truck every day and to spend $1.4 million on a rescue truck that, say this last weekend, we've used it a little bit, but that sits in the apparatus bay, we felt was probably not fiscally responsible. So looking at probably, what we would like to do is look at two smaller dual-purpose trucks. One would be a kind of rescue utility trailer, or vehicle, I'm sorry, that would be specifically designed and configured for the confined space rescue, vehicle extrication, and water rescue. And some of that equipment would be taken off the current rescue truck and put on that truck. And then some also equipment from the rescue truck would be used to support purchase a new kind of wildland support vehicle, which would serve as a replacement for Brush 1221, which is a 1989 brush truck. So, long story short, the current rescue truck is about $1.4 million-ish. I mean, depending on when you purchase it and what you're all going to equip it with. Looking at 2 trucks that would be cheaper and kind of divvying up that equipment a little bit. The two issues, and this is for discussion only, is so the current brush truck, which is 1221, is not due for replacement. It doesn't, and the replacement equipment replacement reserve is not due for, it doesn't have replacement cost or date on there. And then I forgot what my other point was. Like I said, discussion only though, forgot my point, but looking for if we want to proceed down this route, knowing that we would need 2 trucks. One small truck just won't work. We would need to divvy up that truck equipment into two small to medium-sized trucks. So we're looking for maybe board input, kind of consensus if you want us to go down this route, knowing that, it would save money, but we would need 2 trucks and we'd be replacing 2 trucks, I guess, in essence, so. Kind of muddy the water there a little bit, but.
We would need the spacing of the replacements.
Correct.
Right,
No, they would-
so
they
that
would-
we
They
could-
currently would actually take up less space, because they would be smaller trucks, so.
I mean, spacing of paying for the future replacement.
No, so I think the plan would probably not be to purchase these for another year or 2. The current timeframe on these replacements are about 2 to 3 years, so we wouldn't
Okay.
purchase this in. We just want to kind of get the general consensus of the board, if this is a direction that you would kind of give us a blessing to go forward with, or if you want us to kind of stick with the, just replacing the rescue truck. Like you said, the issue is that truck for the brush truck isn't due for replacement, so we would need either one big truck again or kind of 2 medium, smaller trucks, so, and looking to replace 2 trucks versus the 1, so. We just want the blessing to kind of go for that direction, and start talking numbers and planning the process that it's okay to do that, otherwise we'll just replace them.
What are there advantages, disadvantages?
Honestly, replacement costs for future years and staffing costs as well. We typically run with a 3-person engine, 4-person engine. That truck will be able to get in taller or smaller, tighter spaces, either on the highway, and we have a lot of small roads in Suamico, especially up by the bay, where this equipment would tend to be used, especially for ice water rescues. Our larger trucks tend to have an issue to kind of turning around and maneuvering over there. So typically, Hook Road, Resort Road, those are pretty small. Harbor Lights, those are all small roads down there. So looking at something that would be more dual purpose, be able to fit in there, and obviously be able to go on the highway as well and kind of get between traffic. So felt it was a better use of tax dollars and instead of buying a big rescue truck that would cost, a lot more, so.
Any disadvantage?
Honestly, I mean, you lose the flashiness of a nice big truck, but that's about it.
There's no It's a-
services that we would lose?
I can
Yeah,
live with
there goes-
that.
I mean, that's
For
really what it comes down to.
$600,000, I can live with that.
I think I can live with
a
that.
little less flash.
Firefighters always like bigger trucks, so.
Yeah,
I did forget to mention on the last one before I forget.
We'll put
Captain
some extra
Bazell-
lights on it.
Yeah, Captain Bazell is here from the association, just wanted to say thank you to him, so.
on the committee?
And he's also on the truck committee as well.
Who else is on the truck committee?
Captain Brent Ward, Assistant Chief Chris Kaburzik, Assistant Chief Jerry Van Plus, and then a number of firefighters as well. So we've had the same committee for pretty much since I've been chief for the last 4 or 5 years. So just kind of looking at, we have this big truck that doesn't get used. Well, I'll have it for instance. Our truck was down. We had Randy LaPointe and Scott Lee Joyce fix the rescue truck. It was down for a month, and almost 2 months actually, and it didn't leave the building once. And we're like, why are we spending 1.4 million on a truck that we didn't use in 2 months? Now, this past weekend, we used it 3 times. So, but we need that equipment, we need that ability, but sometimes it can sit for quite a while without being used, so.
Is one of the reasons why you used it 3 times this weekend? Would we have been able to respond if we were to go the smaller truck route, not have this larger truck?
No, it was just, that truck had the equipment on it.
Okay.
So,
and the
yeah,
smaller
we had
trucks
a few
would be
vehicle
intended.
accidents this weekend, higher traffic, that was about it, so.
That's an interesting advantage, though, that you mentioned. If 2 trucks are needed, and is it possible that these 2 could actually respond to 2 different problems at one time?
Yes, they
whereas
could,
one
yeah.
truck couldn't?
Yeah.
Okay.
One would truck would be set up for the confined space.
Yeah,
Kinda,
but it's
and the other would-
possible.
yeah,
We
it is
just
possible,
opened a
yeah.
possible door.
So like I said, why we want to go this direction is that we replace 2 trucks, but one of the trucks is not due for replacement. We just want
Until,
kind of blessing.
that was one thing you were getting at. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
You were talking about the equipment reserve and that one of them wasn't due for replacement and you couldn't remember the year.
Yeah,
Did-
it wasn't, so that was the 1989 is it's a brush truck bought out of Montana or some way back when. It just never was on the equipment replacement schedule. And I just wanted to be,
Seems to
know,
me with the numbers. you're
I just
looking
wanted to
at-
be, not plenty secrets that
Yeah.
that truck would get replaced. So I don't want
That's
to pull something,
appreciated.
I had to use that right behind you and
Is this
well,
it?
we're replacing this one as well. so.
I just want to compliment you once again. You just did this to us a few months ago where you came back with a creative way of saving the village a bunch of money. And you just went and did it again.
Well, I think the committee, because it's
Well,
not
okay.
just me, it's them that,
Well, if you and the committee and
With all the donations.
we're all taxpayers, so.
no, I just want to compliment you and your team on this
Yeah,
then.
that's
No,
okay?
yeah, me
This
also.
is huge.
Thank you. So
This is a
I
big
just want the
one.
blessing to
Doing a
kind of
great
go
job.
down this route, because I don't want to pull something behind you like, oh, we're
Yeah,
replacing
just-
that truck as well.
I
So.
think when you
something
come
we
back,
might
you
need
want to
to-
come back and look at,
And we'll have hard numbers later
a
on.
projection of maintenance costs, for, okay, you got 2 instead of 1, insurance costs, you got 2 instead of, I highly doubt it's going to make any significant dent.
Yeah,
in
so we're replacing,
600,000.
just so we're clear, we're replacing 2 trucks, where before we'd only be replacing 1. So with this option, we are replacing 2 trucks we currently have. So I don't think the insurance or anything, replacement or
Because
maintenance
the
would be any
value is
difference.
actually lower.
Is actually lower.
I'm thinking when you come back, you're going to even have a higher savings.
I don't
let's
put
just
those
see.
words in my mouth,
It's
but,
good you put that bug in his ear.
yeah, I
It'll
won't
be
put that word in
interesting
my
to see how
mouth,
this
but
turns out.
Mike, it's going to go to his head and
Yeah, keep it up.
I think the committee, they put a lot of time and effort into this, so just trying to be a little more efficient.
So is it, to summarize, is it correct to assume that this is a direction that we'd like to see Chief Bertler and the fire department go?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do we need to do
I said, I just want to pull a fast one on you when
He's just
if we go down this route, we replace in 2 trucks, so.
So I believe you have the agreement of the board to move forward with the 2
All right,
trucks. rather than
thank
one.
you.
Would you prefer this as a public motion? I think it's just for discussion. Very good, thank you.
So it's fine.
Thank you.
All right, that gets us to item 11 this evening, which is discussion of future agenda items. Anyone have future agenda items they would like to get out there for the next time?
This isn't a future agenda, just when can I say this part?
You can now.
Okay, it's not a future agenda item, but wanted the board to be aware that we're going to be doing a dedication, the sign on July 17th at 5:30 PM. That's a historic preservation sign, the really awesome sign that so far, as I've done my little unscientific, hey, how do you like the sign? It's 7 out of 7. So that's a good thing.
Okay.
When is this?
July 17th at 5:30 PM. It's not going to be anything huge, you know, going to be, it's not going to cost any money.
Right, right next door, correct?
No,
The one over in,
across from,
In beautiful downtown Suamico.
Yes.
yeah,
Historic.
Russian Station 1.
across from
Okay.
Station One, and
Yeah,
Mike's
right
buying
here.
the first
Historic
one.
downtown.
Right, that's where it's going to be.
That's where it is.
Anybody else with future agenda
Well,
item?
that's where the dedication is going to be.
Trustee Romas, you had mentioned to me at one point, maybe a discussion about our policy on posting and publishing agendas and other items. Is that something you still wanted on the next agenda?
I think that was in a segue with just the general concept I think trustee Stevens mentioned before about finding ways to get better input out to the public. So sure.
Okay.
Yeah, why don't we, I wouldn't have.
I
a
won't be
problem
here at the
talking
next
about
meeting,
it.
so that sounds like a great
Great
discussion
discussion.
for
I
you all
won't
to
be
have.
there.
Yeah. I think
right.
the survey came back and was clear, so
So what would the agenda item be? Is this tools or
I
what,
think
what's
he
your
was
thought?
gonna just talk. about
We,
how it's
we have
gonna be
the
done.
village board has a policy on how we advertise and post certain things like public hearings. A lot of that is already tied to state statute, but there is some flexibility with village ordinances and whatnot, and I can just present that table of different options and rules that we have, and if the village board wants to tweak it, you're welcome to tweak it, it's your policy.
I would like to maybe consider something on, is an open discussion amongst this board relative to the makeup of the comprehensive plan. Who are the resources that we want to continue to reach out to? And I would love to hear, you know, what people are thinking, and so that we can actually point towards those individuals or groups of people or whoever they are. I think we can offer that back to the planning and zoning, so as they prepare for what that plan looks like. What's
I'll
the
second
input? Okay, thanks.
So you've got a request from trustee Stevens, and that has been seconded by trustee Romas for the next village board meeting, which is to discuss the makeup of committees for the comprehensive plan. And obviously, a piece of that is who made up the committees the last time, right?
Now, FYI, both of us will not be here at the next meeting,
Should be very productive.
and I have no intention of coming back
And
for it.
we're not
My
going
plans.
anywhere together.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No, I don't have a clue where he's going.
Nobody was going to be looking for you.
So they're
maybe-
vacationing together, and
I think
Let's
it'd be
move
good,
that,
you
can we
know.
move that to the meeting after the next one then, so that you're here for it?
August?
Sure.
I think it'd be
Is there a difference? So I'm a little confused on what the difference would be from the last village board meeting and the discussion on the makeup of the committee.
He's just asking for an open conversation.
Yeah.
He's asking for a window of time for people to, you know, voice ideas, to have thoughts. And I don't think we need either of you here for that. That's just,
Okay.
you know, talking about, hey, you know, what's, like, I wasn't here for the last comprehensive plan,
and nor was
nor was I, right? So, I mean, I'll give you old timers an opportunity to, you know, let us, well, I wasn't talking to you, I was talking to the guy in the end and this guy here in particular.
Trustee Eckert was on the last committee. She'll have insight.
House.
scoop.
And then the young lady there.
All right, so put it on the next
Okay.
agenda, that's fine.
Got
Then you guys can miss it,
Thank you.
unfortunately.
the people we are seeking for this comp plan, they do have to be Suamico residents, right?
That's a question for the village board.
Yeah,
That wouldn't be my answer.
I would say.
Leave it for the discussion. Okay,
That can be part of that?
yes,
All right.
absolutely.
Did we,
Anything else?
did we fill any positions, the open planning?
Has anyone responded?
No.
Yeah.
We've gotten 2 applications for the committee.
Not
We
for the
have a
open
third who is just verifying their schedule, but we haven't received any applications for other openings
Okay.
that I'm aware of.
Well, that's good. So you're getting at least something for the comprehensive plan committee.
Okay. Is there a motion to adjourn this evening's meeting?
Nah, let's keep it going.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you. Trustee McKeefrey has overridden trustee Romas and offered a motion to adjourn this evening's meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from trustee Andrew. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed.
Nay.
Motion carries 6-1. Trustee Romus was a nay.
Your own.